Penguin Audio presents The Secret History of the American Empire by John Perkins. Read by Jonathan Davis, with a special introduction read by the author.
Hi, this is John Perkins. This book takes up where Confessions of an Economic Hitman left off. Back when I finished writing that book in 2004, I had no idea whether anyone would want to read about my life as an economic hitman, EHM. I chose to describe events that I needed to confess. Subsequently, traveling across the U.S. and to other countries, lecturing, fielding questions, and talking with men and women who are concerned about the future, I have come to understand that people everywhere desire to know what is really going on in the world today. We all want to be able to read between the lines of the news reports and hear the truths that are glossed over by the self-serving pronouncements of the individuals who control our businesses, governments, and media, collectively, the corporatocracy. As I explained in Confessions, I tried to write that book several times. I approached other EHMs and Jackals, the CIA-sponsored mercenaries who step in to influence, cajole, bribe, and sometimes assassinate, and asked them to include their stories. Word quickly spread. I myself was bribed and threatened. I stopped writing. After 9/11, when I made the commitment to move forward, I decided that this time I would tell no one until the manuscript was published. At that point, it became an insurance policy. The Jackals knew that if anything unusual happened to me, sales of the book would skyrocket. Writing Confessions without assistance from others with similar experiences might have been difficult, but it was my safest route. Since its publication, people have stepped out from the shadows. EHMs, Jackals, reporters, Peace Corps volunteers, corporate executives, and World Bank, International Monetary Fund, and government officials have come to me with their own confessions. The stories they share on the following CDs expose the facts behind the events that are shaping the world our children will inherit. They underscore the inevitable conclusion. We must act. We must change. I want to emphasize that you will not find gloom and doom on these CDs. I'm optimistic. I know that, although serious, our problems are man-made. We are not threatened by a giant meteor. The fire of the sun has not been extinguished. Because we created these problems, we can solve them. By exploring the dark recesses of our past, we can develop a light for examining and changing the future. When you finish listening to this audio version of The Secret History of the American Empire, you too will, I believe, feel absolutely confident that we will do the right thing. You will have identified a plan of action. Together, we will utilize the resources Providence has provided to establish human societies that reflect our highest ideals. One evening a few months into my book tour for Confessions, I found myself lecturing in a Washington, D.C. bookstore. The woman introducing me had mentioned earlier that she expected a number of World Bank staffers to attend. Created at Bretton Woods in my home state of New Hampshire in 1944, the bank was charged with reconstructing countries devastated by the war. Its mission soon became synonymous with proving that the capitalist system was superior to that of the Soviet Union. To further this role, its employees cultivated cozy relationships with capitalism's main proponents, multinational corporations. This opened the door for me and other EHMs to mount a multi-trillion-dollar scam. We channel funds from the bank and its sister organizations into schemes that appeared to serve the poor, while primarily benefiting a few wealthy people. Under the most common of these, we would identify a developing country that possessed resources our corporations coveted, such as oil, arrange a huge loan for that country, and then direct most of the money to our own engineering and construction companies, and a few collaborators in the developing country. Infrastructure projects such
Sample complete. Ready to continue?